embarrassment.
I'm trying to keep from the embarrassment, sir.
Ah, well, we're live. We had a little bit of a false start. I guess now, if I go
There we go.
live, I have to
Yeah,
press
got
two
the pop up.
buttons. I have to go live in Streamlabs, and then I have to go live on YouTube, which is a lot of fun. They've changed some things around and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. But we have three awesome artists here on the 27th Cheesecake Challenge. We have Armoron, we have Illustrator Monk, and we have Daniel Tech Vega. Um, and right now we're going to do the theme of Final Fantasy. Now it doesn't have to be 7 or anything else. It's just Final Fantasy. They can pick any beautiful woman from Final Fantasy or any gender swapped male, I guess. Put them in an interesting, very well. Their outfits should be recognizable, and then you need to be moving in kind of a flexible manner while they're fighting with their weapons, whatever that may be. I kind of put it as guns, but like I know Final Fantasy all that well because I'm not that big of a gamer. Anyway, like I said, we got started a little bit late, so we're like 5 after now because I goofballed it up. But again, we have Armoron. Armoron won last week. You want to say something about what you got going?
Just doing commissions in my working on content for my Patreon. That's about it.
Excellent, excellent. That's very cool. We have we had somebody else jump in the chat.
Hello.
Oh, look at that! It's Humble
Hey,
Marty.
Marty.
Humble Marty got these are seemingly becoming our stalwart, faithful artists that show up, and we get other people too occasionally, but these four.
Oh, hang on.
Well, and then we have Illustrator Monk. You want to tell us what you're doing as usual?
Yeah, check out Saving the World on Kickstarter. It's the last couple days.
All right,
So
excellent.
get it while you can.
And Daniel, are you doing anything that you want to tell anybody about?
I'm still taking commissions. You can DM me at the Tech Corner on Twitter and on YouTube, and then D Vega on DeviantArt.
All right, excellent. And Humble Marty, I guess are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Did you want to throw anything out there that you're doing? Pimp anything?
Nothing right now.
All right. Well, you heard what the theme is tonight. We're getting started a little bit late, so I'm gonna go 10 past 11 o'clock my time, just to give you guys a little bit extra time. And let's get going. I might dip out if something happens in my house. I've been having to deal with stuff, family stuff. But you guys can sit there and talk amongst yourself. I hope we get a few more people in, but if we don't, that's fine. I don't know who's in the chat right now, but I guess I can go check. Yeah. Currently, it's weird. They've changed some things in right now in YouTube. So you have to push live streaming from OBS, and then you have to do live streaming now from YouTube. Before, all I do was push OBS and it would start live streaming from YouTube. But now I have to do 2 steps. Isn't that wonderful? Hey, look, we have Larry in the chat. Hey, Larry, what's going on? You vote Niobe cosplaying as Tifa. All right, well, that's an interesting idea. I guess that could be something that could be done if somebody wanted to do that. How's your week been with all this craziness going on, y'all?
It's been going. It's trying my patience.
It is interesting. I mean, my job allows me to go out, but I mean, as soon as I get done, unless I'm going to the store or something, I come right back. I don't really want to expose myself because I have an old lady that I have to take care of who probably could get taken out pretty easily. And I'm not that young myself, so, I could be at risk. But I've been practicing the social distancing and washing my hands and making sure that I'm always, my hands have gotten a little dry because I've washed them so much and taken all the oil off my hands. But you got to do that. And then I have some wipes that I picked up, and then I have instead of Purell, I have some alcohol that I just put on a piece of paper and wipe on my hands if I need to, and wipe down my steering wheel and stuff. It's a lot of fun, you know. Yeah, one of those things that we're gonna have to deal with. I don't know how long this is go on, but I mean, it's not something that hasn't happened in the past. I was looking at some of the journals my family does, because we're Mormons and we do a lot of genealogy. But so both sides of the family have kind of compiled quite a bit, and there's some records of my great aunts and uncles that talk about especially on my mom's side, that talk about the 1918 influenza. And I had three aunts and uncles, two uncles and one aunt that died from the influenza at that time. And they talked about how that they didn't stop their life; they kept doing things. And it's one of those things.
And that's why they all died from influenza.
Well, that's one of those things that happens.
Trust me, I'm with the government.
But they had to keep going, because if they didn't keep going, then everybody would have a real big problem. And, you know, it's one of those weird things we had to deal with. And that happened before, like the crash. So the world wasn't in terrible financial straits, but it was nothing like it was now. A lot of people were still lived a kind of subsistence lifestyle. We call our today, you know, day to day, you know, bill to bill, but they literally, some people would have lean times in the winter because they didn't have enough food or they had to ration it out. My grandmother, her family on the other side had, you know, her dad had 12 children, and they lived on a dirt farm of somebody else, and they lived in a renovated chicken coop with dirt floors, and they were allowed to eat whatever the extras that they picked, and the guy farmed onions. So my grandmother and most of her family had a taste for onions raw, because that's all they had to eat. We don't have that kind of stuff today, and we complain and moan and whatever, but we live in a pretty big time of plenty. There's a cornucopia in front of us, even though we have a pandemic going on. And Matt, thank you for showing up. It's very nice.
Yeah, happy to be here.
I'm sorry to go off on this tangent, but it is something we're dealing with right now.
Why are you sorry about it?
Well, you know, I mean, belaboring the
Everything
point.
you're saying is true.
And it just
People have no clue. They have no clue how hard it was 100 years ago.
And we live pretty easy going today. We really do.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep.
Especially in our country, even with this crash in the stock market and all this other stuff,
Which isn't a crash because it's still at like what 21,000
right?
a day.
Right. I mean, the fall of 9,000 points or whatever.
I mean, we lost some gains. Whatever. It means nothing compared to what it meant, 100 years ago.
Yeah. Well, what happened in 29 was catastrophic. People lost everything. Today, I mean, I know people can't work right now, but the government's kind of giving them a little bit. I don't know if that's the greatest thing in the world, but there's still food in the supermarkets. There's everything that we need is still there, except for our freaking medical stuff that we sold off to cafe. And
I think it's pronounced Kofefe.
Kofefe, I hope we wake up and bring everything back, and that we don't hamstring ourselves anymore by giving everything away to a foreign power that really doesn't like our way of life. And I think that was a massive mistake on the parts of our leaders to allow that to happen, and our leaders of industry in their greed to what I would call Morganization. It's going back to J.P. Morgan, where they streamline so much, or they try to look for the easiest route to make money, and that they sold all of our industry and everything to somewhere else. And that's a hell of a thing that we're dealing with now.
Well, I think that's probably going to change, right?
I would hope, but you never know with these yahoos. Especially with people on
it's
the
all
left.
about, who are we going to get in there in 2024? That's the big question.
Well, we'll find out. We shall find out. And
I'm
I'm
gonna go back to business as normal, or is there really like a revolution of the people going on here?
well, it depends on which way you're swinging with the revolution. Let's
Well, I'm
look.
speaking with the winners, not the fucking losers. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Trump, baby. It's like voting for Ric Flair. You know what I mean? Like, and I would. I'd vote for Vince McMahon for president.
Who's
He's ran a small business.
Who's
Took a
a
small
Mets,
business,
Who's
regional,
Mets
made it global.
artificiary? Who's that?
Who's Vince's artificiary? What?
Mets artificiary.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
so he's in the chat. What's going on? This is Final Fantasy Gals? Yes, it is. And
Show
me
'em the
talking
titties.
about the
Show 'em the
dire
titties.
dour situation that we're quote unquote in right now. What the hell? Who doesn't want the Tifa titties? This is true.
From the tech corner.
Yeah.
So
Good idea.
I see you guys need some artists, so I'm gonna jump on this.
That's not a bad
Who's this?
idea.
Who's Joshua? Who's Joshua?
Joshua Metz. Right.
Oh, this is the Met. Oh. What? Really?
The one and only.
You are also Met's artificiary.
Yes, I think. So
Well, let's confirm that.
let's jump on and we got. Well, who we got now? We got.
Wait, is Joshua Met's artificiary or not?
Yeah.
I believe
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I'm Matt's artificiary.
Okay.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 great artists on right now. I don't know what
You'll have
happened
to forgive me because I'm simultaneously casting the F Monday show on Ink Spots, so I'm just here to sort of draw.
All
With
right,
in
man.
spots.
Well, do what you got to do. I'm glad to have you here, really, even if you are, multitasking and you're doing your own thing. I do.
But share your
appreciate-
screen, Joshua. Share your screen
Yes,
if you
try
can.
to share your screen if you can. Do
Absolutely.
That would be very helpful for the.
Do you want to plug something before you go back to whatever else? No? Okay. Never mind. I love it. I love it.
In and out.
That guy's good. This guy Joshua, he's gonna survive the next Great Depression. You see that hustle? You see how quick he
Oh,
was? He was
gosh.
like, "Oh, I got something else to do over here. I got some work. There's work in Oregon. I heard. I gotta go." Boom. Next thing you know, he's gonna be building a railroad.
Yeah.
What are they gonna build, Jimmy? How are they gonna put people to work? Like literally, that is the story of my grandmother's side of the family. When she was little, it was the Depression, and she remembers men coming by the house and asking if there was any work, and there was no work, but they had work, and her mother would always feed the men a bowl of soup with some bread.
Oh yeah. Then that
And
stuff happened.
her
on the regular.
father, my grandmother's father, so my great grandfather, heard there was work in Oregon, and so he packed up his whole family because he heard there was work in Oregon and left.
And that's what that happened a lot.
Who does that now?
Well, I mean, I don't
people
know.
do that
like,
now?
You get this thing like people get stuck in their own place. They're like, I can't leave this, that, and the other thing. This is where my family was born and raised, and blah blah blah. The one thing about America is that you're not tied down to anywhere else. If you're living in a place that's crap,
normally in America, but now you like literally are tied down. They'll give you a fine if you leave.
well, that's really weird. That doesn't happen in my state, but I'm sure that there are some states that have put something like that in, which is.
That is happening.
I heard that about Detroit, which is
Detroit.
really weird.
Yeah.
And I think that probably is unconstitutional, and somebody should take them to task for that.
Yeah.
But things are weird. I mean, and I would just get out of Dodge, even if they charged me a fine. I'd just leave.
Yeah. I don't think that fine is going to hold up.
Yeah, and like
It's really disgusting, in fact, for them to even do that, and I don't think that they'll have
terrible.
a job because it happened.
if
at the end
you
of the day.
if you've had mismanagement of a city for so long that let's talk about Detroit.
Let's not talk about Detroit. No one
Detroit
wants
is
to
a
talk about
disaster outside of the downtown.
Detroit. Let's talk about the Pistons. Just the Pistons.
But I mean, what I'm saying is this isn't the only city that this has happened to. Now, what would we have? I don't actually have a problem with the government paying people to build stuff. I would not want them to do directly from the government, but I would think that things like roads and bridges and public works, that sort of thing, things like dams, like the Hoover Dam and the Glen Canyon Dam over where I am, were two big projects that they did during that, and they gave jobs to people. There were things like I don't know if this was useful, but for the watershed here in Utah, they'd go and make terraces up on the sides of the mountains. And they'd do these things with bulldozers, and like they put in these flat spots, and so it would hold the water longer during the summers. I'm not sure how well they actually work, but the idea was that it should work, and then it gave people a place to work. And so if you come to Provo, Utah, and you look up in the mountains behind, there's a notch, what's called Rock Canyon, you'll see these lines on the mountain up there, a place called Seven Peaks. And that was from that period. And you can climb up there, and you can actually, during the summer, on those flat spots, you can set out your tent and stuff and camp up there, which is kind of cool.
Do you know what do you know what Detroit made?
Cars, once upon a time.
Anything else?
They made a lot of different things.
12-time NBA All-Star Isaiah Thomas.
Oh,
Swoosh.
whatever.
Outlive Kobe. What, too
Well,
soon? Is that too soon?
Maybe Isaiah didn't take that many, helicopter rides.
Maybe not.
I think if you're famous, you should stay out of helicopters, especially if you're like somebody who plays music, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, or plays basketball. What do you guys think?
Airplanes to the American Ford.
Oh my gosh, there's a Josh. We have a Josh Spencer. We have two Joshes. It's a battle
Josh
of two
Spencer,
Joshes.
do you know who Bill Lambier is?
Oh boy.
Lambert?
Oh,
No,
Lambier.
Bill Lambier.
He was a flopper.
No, I don't.
He was
A
a
flopper?
Shut your mouth.
He was a
He's still in
flopper.
the game, dude. He's still in the game.
As a coach, maybe.
Yeah, he's a coach. Can you guess what team?
The Pistons?
No.
Philadelphia.
The Las Vegas Aces.
Is that-
WNBA.
Oh my, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was a WNBA. I don't even know about. I don't know about those teams. Yeah, we have the Jazz around here. And that's about it. I always thought we should have bought the Saints. It would have been more apropos for Utah, but we got the Jazz. Yeah, and anybody else?
How's it going?
The
Final Fantasy.
the salt.
eh?
I don't. It
trumpet
seems to be
blowers.
going. Are you going to draw, Josh, or are you just going to be a talking head?
I'll be a talking head because I woke up late.
Are you
Had
are you
breakfast
are
late.
you going to be David Byrne? Which talking head are you going to be? No, am I the only one who gets that reference?
got a
Never mind.
reference?
I think you're the only one to get the reference.
Fudge.
I'm from
No. I
Kansas.
got the reference to talking head. I just don't know the members of the band.
Well, there's only one
Everyone
that's
knows
really
David Byrne.
important.
He's the lead.
David Byrne.
Chris France, Tina Weymouth? No, nobody. Jerry Harrison? Nobody cares about Jerry. He just plays keyboard.
The only one that matters is David Byrne.
You're right.
I'm not trying to be mean, but that's the truth.
Hey, Tech, you're using Manga Studio Paint?
Clip Paint Studio. Clip Studio Paint EX.
Yes.
Wow.
Do you custom brushes or not?
Yeah. Actually, this one I'm using now is a custom brush.
Did you buy it or make it yourself?
Downloaded it. Someone was giving out free brushes, and I tried to try and check them out. But you can also buy them. I know there's a guy that does like. I'll put it in the chat here. Let me find it right quick.
Yeah, no worries.
He actually had this awesome curvy brush. I just haven't had a chance to buy it.
Because I'm trying to practice in Clip Studio because I find that it's better for coloring flats quickly than Photoshop is.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Well,
It's much better for flatting than Photoshop.
learn something new every day.
The only thing is that I don't like how masks work, but I'm learning how.
Well, it also uses a lot of vector.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what you're looking for, and it can duplicate a lot of the stuff that you're looking for. This
Yeah,
here,
At the moment, I don't think it's going to get rid of Photoshop for me, but it's pretty good.
I'll put it here in this thing here.
But at least with Clip Studio, you don't have to pay monthly for it.
Yeah,
True.
that's another thing. He has if you go to shit, where is it?
Well, that was yeah.
Sorry.
So Amaranth.
Yeah, there's
Amaranth?
Amaranth?
You talking about that chick that looks like she's
I
made
can
out of
never
plastic?
remember. I can never remember.
Uses her dogs all the time. Cat.
Yes, the cat lady. That's what I mean.
She looks like she's made out of plastic to me. But maybe I'm just being mean.
Amaron. That's what I meant.
She sure has a bunch of thirsty boys after her, though.
I checked out your DeviantArt. There's a lot of hot drawings there.
Yeah.
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 Very, very busty ladies.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely busty ladies.
Yeah, definitely.
There it is. Oh, freaking thing.
So let's look at what we got here. I'm sorry I'm being so quiet tonight.
There. That's something more direct. Link.
I like what you're doing, Armoron. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Just saying.
Has everyone here played Final Fantasy or a Final Fantasy?
I have not. This is
I
something out of my purview.
I played just about all of them.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
It's not the best one. That was on the GameCube. I think they moved it to another one, but I know for sure fact it was on the GameCube first.
The only one I've played was Final Fantasy X.
That was the PS2 era, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my favorite Final Fantasy weapon when I was in high school, I think it was 9. Was like the gun sword thing.
No, that's 8.
8.
There's claw.
In 13, I think. It's also there's gun blades in that as well.
Oh, there's
also
Gunblades in the MMO A Realm Reborn. Their latest thing, the Shadowbringers.
Why was the movie so shit?
Because the guy who directed it at the time, you're talking about the Spirits Within, or
yeah, Spirits Within.
Because at the time, the guy who was directing it, his I think his mom died, or something like that, or his wife died, something like that, and so he pretty much used the movie as a coping mechanism, and that's why it came out the way it did, from what I've understood.
I just don't understand like why they chose that story to tell in the movie. Like, yeah.
I guess the idea is that death may not be the end. This, you know,
just doesn't seem very Final Fantasy to me.
Yeah, again, it's like the guys. I do believe the director's family kind of just, or his mom passed away, and so it got him thinking, and he just used the movie as to. From what I've understood, I could be wrong, you know.
Yeah.
I think the movie did bad here, but it did pretty well in Japan.
Oh yeah, okay.
I have no idea. I remember seeing one way back. Is that the old one you're talking about? That weird one?
Yeah, that's Spirits Within. Because they did a Final Fantasy VII movie that took place after the events of the original game.
And then the same animation guys that directed that Matrix, one of the Matrix shorts.
Yeah, they did that.
In the Animatrix. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, the last flight of the Osiris.
Yeah.
It was called, yeah. About a direct like prequel to the movie.
Yeah, she has regular ears before you ask.
I'm not familiar with the Flight of the Osiris. I never saw it. The last Flight of the Osiris.
Yeah, it was like it was directed by like the makers of Final Fantasy, like Spirits Within movie, and it was like about them delivering the mail.
No, they were
something-
delivering a message.
So
message,
basically, it
that's
was
it.
the mailman.
I think the idea was essentially it was the either it had something to do with either Neo or it had something to do with the last human colony and
It
some
was
kind of
it
warning or
was
message.
that yeah, it was some signal or something that was going to warn them that
The machines were coming.
the machines are going to go towards Zion. So I think the events happened between the movies, like the first and the second one, I think.
Yeah.
All I know is that I wasn't really impressed by the second. I mean, I know a lot of people have said this, but they weren't.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing.
No,
I liked
at all.
the chase on the freeway in the second one. It just, I don't know. I never got into it. I still love the first one. The first one's awesome.
The chase on the freeway was probably one of the best parts.
Yeah, seriously, it was really cool. Boy, it got really quiet tonight. I just got to keep talking, I guess. Keep
Sorry,
chattering
I'm
away.
thinking about.
I'm gonna do.
Well, yeah, it's not easy when people are thinking because I can't talk and think at the same time.
Well, I mean, today has been a rough one for me. So it's like,
What happened?
oh, it's just my mom's having a hard time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
Well,
it is what it is.
it is. She's not as young as she used to be.
Well, she's not all there anymore, which is something that's changed by the first part of the year, and it makes me sad because I like talking with her now. She's not capable of having a real conversation anymore.
Mm-hmm.
She does pick up some of my humor, which is nice. But she doesn't understand complex things, so that makes me sad.
Yes, it would.
And then, you just gotta. It's part of life. You gotta take care of your elders. And,
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, I'm bringing everybody down. Shit.
Get out.
Get out of here, son of a bitch. How dare you talk about reality? We're here for sexy women's.
Yeah.
Yes.
I spent a little bit of time this morning going out and making sure my taxes are ready. That's always fun.
Oh man.
I hate that.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Oh, I finally got my W-2 from the freaking other job part timer I had, or full timer. I should have said full time, but it didn't.
What do you mean?
It was a job for it was for a insurance company. I'm being on the phone, but for whatever reason, my I'm half deaf, so for whatever reason, my ear decided it wasn't gonna play nice. Was their headphones, and we tried fixing it, and ultimately, it's like, hey man, if this thing is hurting your ear, we we can't, it's becoming a medical liability, and it's like, at the same time, I don't feel like losing what's left of my hearing, so.
Well, neither would I. Even though my hearing's not the greatest as it used to be.
Yeah.
It's always fun. I always enjoy marking the time of and the weirdness that happens to me as I get older. like, younger people's like, he's a boomer, and I'm like, you're gonna get there too. So
Yeah, but we're just having fun with you. It's like,
yeah, I'm not upset. I'm just, I've been where you're at, and most people, like, there's a time when you think you're gonna live forever, and then at some point, you know you're not. And sometimes it's a rude awakening, and other times it's just kind of a gradual thing.
yeah. I think this is the first time in a long time since I've drawn a Final Fantasy character for any reason.
Well, I mean,
This is Tara Bradford from Final Fantasy 3. No, or is it 3? Yeah, it was called 3 here, but it's actually Final Fantasy 6 in Japan.
well, I'll tell you, I don't. When it comes to like last week, I don't know anything about other than Tifa. I see Tifa running around, but I don't know much about everything else about it.
Oh, I'm probably not the best person for it either. I mean, I know some of it, but I know there are people who just like Final Fantasy. What do you know about Final Fantasy? And they just like, okay, dude, come on, come down.
Well, I know that there are some people that think it's the greatest thing ever, and I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Okay, all right.
It's got some really good visuals.
Sometimes the story is awesome. Sometimes it's like, the fuck are you think? What the fuck were you thinking when you did this story? Like whatever you were smoking, man. I want some of it because damn.
Can anybody tell me about Final Fantasy? Anybody who's familiar with it?
Originally
it's a video game.
Thanks,
Secret of
man.
Mana.
Thanks.
Secret of Mana.
I never knew that. That's good to know.
You know Secret of Mana?
Yeah,
I think that's where Final Fantasy starts.
No,
Might be
Final
wrong,
Fantasy originally started as it actually started as their last game. That's why it's called Final Fantasy because they were going out of they were initially going out of business, and so they figured, oh well, fuck it, we'll just make this game and we'll call it Final Fantasy because this is our final game, and that's how the title stuck.
That's not out. I think you're full of crap.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if it's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were literally going out of business, and they just like, okay, well, fuck it.
Interesting.
Amaron.
Yep.
You're drawing Tifa?
Yeah. Without a skirt.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
shit.
only know of her because of like cosplayers that dressed up as her. Very
You dressed
busty
up as
cosplay.
Tifa, did you?
Not me.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a popular one.
She's better with a skirt on and a skirt. That's freaking crap.
Oh, that was Capcom, not well.
Well, she's wearing bicycle shorts underneath the skirt in the latest version.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
what it
It's
is.
like,
So they-
no, the
yeah.
one I've seen is she actually has a skirt. Like
It's a skirt.
the front is like looks like a skirt, and then it turns around and it's shorts, and I'm like, great.
What character is Illustrator Monk drawing?
I
I think it's completely scrapped this character.
I can't see.
Illustrator Monk.
I think that's Yuffie. No. Yeah, I think
No
it's
idea.
Yes, it's Yuffie.
There you go.
See,
And what about Humble?
I
What's
have no
Humble
idea
doing?
who Yuffie is. Tifa's the only one I think I've ever heard
she's a ninja that shows up in Final Fantasy VII.
of. Oh, okay.
She's also when her character starts out, she's trying to steal materia from anybody and everybody, and that also includes Todd and the team.
Do you want me to tell you about Final Fantasy, Jim?
Sure, why not? Tell me about Final
Let's
Fantasy.
eat up some time.
Since
Well,
I don't know.
believe it or not, the first installment of the series was released in Japan on December 18th, 1987. Subsequent games are numbered and given a story unrelated to previous games, so the numbers refer to volumes rather than sequels.
It's coming
Many
up with
Final
the-
Fantasy games. Many Final Fantasy games have been localized for markets in North America, Europe, and Australia on numerous video game consoles, personal computers, and mobile phones. Future installments will appear on 7th and 8th generation consoles. As of November 2016, the series includes the main installments from Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy 15, as well as direct sequels and spin-offs, both released and confirmed as being in development. Most of the older games have been remade or re-released on multiple platforms. So it looks like we go... Final Fantasy was released on the NES. That's the Nintendo Entertainment System, kids. In Japan in 87, North America in 1990. It introduced many concepts to the console RPG genre and has since been remade on several platforms, as I just said. Final Fantasy II released in 88 in Japan and has been bundled with Final Fantasy in several re-releases. The last of the NES installments was Final Fantasy III, released in Japan in 90. However, it was not released elsewhere until a Nintendo DS remake in 2006. So in America, you couldn't play Final Fantasy III for 16 freaking years. Super NES saw the release of Final Fantasy IV in 1991, but in North America, it was released as Final Fantasy II. So Final Fantasy II and III were never released in North America. Okay, and so the actual Japanese Final Fantasy IV is the North American Final Fantasy II. Final Fantasy V was released in 1992 in Japan and was the first game in the series to spawn a sequel, a short anime series, Final Fantasy Legend of the Crystals. Final Fantasy VI was released in Japan in 1994, but titled Final Fantasy III in North America. Now, this is where I want to jump over to Secret of Mana real quick, because Secret of Mana, originally released in Japan as Seiken Densetsu 2, is a 1993 action role-playing game developed and published by Square, now Square Enix, for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It is the sequel to the 1991 game, Seiken Densetsu 1, right? Released in North America as Final Fantasy Adventure, and in Europe as Mystic Quest. And it was the first Seiken Densetsu title to be marketed as part of the Mana series, rather than the Final Fantasy series. So there is like this whole other series of games that are related to Final Fantasy but aren't Final Fantasy, and like there is Final Fantasy Adventure, Secret of Mana, Trials of Mana, Legend of Mana, Sword of Mana, Children of Mana, Friends of Mana, Dawn of Mana, Heroes of Mana, Circle of Mana, Rise of Mana, Adventures of Mana, Secret of Mana, Collection of Mana, Trials of Mana. That's 20.
Sorry.
Ton of games.
So that's like 12. Yeah, they have 12, and a couple were remakes. So Final Fantasy is massive, and it just keeps going on. There's just a ton, and then all these like little spin-offs, and then Final Fantasy in film, Final Fantasy Legends of the Crystal in 1994, Final Fantasy The Spirits Within. Everyone in America remembers that movie that really was kind of boring, but looked pretty interesting. No? Am I the only one?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, they went with that
terrible. We were talking about it before.
photorealistic look, and that's where it sort of like was. It just looked boring because it was too photorealistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the most people had problem with was that they were expecting they were expecting high adventure, and then they got something else.
The road trip, pretty much.
But when are they going to actually make like a Final Fantasy movie? They make all these Marvel movies. How is there not a Final Fantasy?
They did.
I don't even play Final Fantasy, but I would go watch it.
They did. It was Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. It literally and it's placed right after the events of the original game.
But that's a computer animated movie. That's not live action.
Well, this is close.
Live action.
I
It's just one of those things where it's just you can't do it in live action. It's just impossible.
How is it impossible? They made that shitty Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets. They could do anything.
Exactly. You just said it. It was shitty.
Well, but that was because they cast really like bad actors and had a bad script that just had two teenagers never learning anything.
Done it like the actual
growing, no character arc.
Comics, it would have been pretty cool, but I don't know why they cast those two people.
Well, it was just that they didn't have any character arcs. They're like badass from day one, and they just stay badass. You know, Marty McFly learns to be, you know, the best he can be.
Because I mean,
Marty McFly's way cooler than Final Fantasy. Anybody who wants to come get some, get in line behind John.
He's a good protagonist. Protagonist.
Well, let's take Final Fantasy VII. The story is like insanely complex, even going by video game standard. The biggest thing is that Cloud is essentially he's superhuman. He's probably maybe just a tad higher than Captain America in terms of physical ability and lifting stupidly big weapons. And then and so he already starts off badass, and everybody just kind of follows behind him. Especially with Tifa, who can actually punch steel with her bare hand already. And that's just the start of the game. So I think the biggest thing is putting the characters back down to a reasonable level.
Pablo Romero Art is also offering up some other titles that I did not know about in the Mana series, which I would be happy to read right now, such as Escape from Mana, Battle for the Planet of Mana, Mana versus King Kong, Revenge of Mana, Satanic Rites of Mana, The End of Mana, Bruce versus the Snake in the Shadow of Mana, Enter the Mana, Mana of Fury, Night of the Living Mana. So if you haven't seen those are real popular in South America. Those are like, like the luchadors. You guys know luchadors, like Mexican wrestlers. They would make like low budget versions of Mana video games as live action movies. And this is a list of them.
Man of War, Man of Steel,
Flying Cholitos,
Man of Banana,
the Flying Cholitos of Mana.
Good Manners, Bad Manners,
Flying Cholitos,
Mighty Manners.
Mana.
Man of Love.
That was
I'm actually trying to think.
Interesting now, and now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
So they
Actually,
say.
you could probably do Final Fantasy X as a live action. My only concern is how they would render Sin. It's like this giant, almost like a turtle type monster. It is freaking huge.
What they should do is they should make a TV series out of it.
They wouldn't be able to afford the FX for that fucking monster just by himself.
You know, just
it would overtake Game of Thrones, I think. Yeah.
Well, anything could end better than what Game of Thrones ended. Like, jeez.
I mean, it would be better than Game of Thrones. I'm with you on that, but the like I said, like if we do Final Fantasy X, just the size of the fucking monster is just gonna be the issue, because the thing is, this thing is probably taller, I want to say, than the Empire State Building. I want to think.
Well, so it's a
he wrote the Mana in Miss Jones and behind the Mana door.
Is that who wrote that? Was that
Mana Does Dallas? Don't forget that one.
Who wrote that?
Pablo.
Pablo, you're a funny guy, Pablo. I take back everything I said about you.
Oh shit.
I'm waiting for Pablo to actually come back on the show when he's done doing whatever he's doing.
Yeah, me too. We need to get him on lockdown. Can we get more coronavirus imported to South America? Stat. We need to get him on lockdown so we can get him on the show.
That's right.
This is the Corona Cheesecake Challenge.
Please no.
Have you incorporated Clovis? How come you haven't incorporated Clovis into any of these, Jimmy?
Clovis?
What's going on here?
What, the Clovis man? What are you talking
COVID. I mean, COVID. What's it? What is it? The Chinese virus. The
COVID.
Chinese
China.
virus.
COVID-19.
virus.
The woo.
The Kung Flu,
about? The woo?
Chickenpox,
That's what I
Yeah.
call it, the woo.
Woo flu.
Kung Flu,
Fully?
Chinese
The-
virus.
I'm talking about the virus that Xi
China.
Jinping has put onto the world. That virus. You guys know that one?
Virus.
We
Yeah,
need
let me
the
just fucking
flu.
call him out by name. Fight
We
me. Get
need
behind
the
Jonathan
flu.
Davis.
Okay,
Okay.
we need the flu. Okay.
We need the flu. Yeah, we need the flu. That's it.
Achoo. We need the flu. Achoo. We need the flu.
I heard there's some messaging. Damn.
Don't forget about Batmana and Supermana.
Oh, my
Jimmy, is this? Can you hear the lawnmower going in the background, or the chainsaw or something?
I don't hear it.
No.
Yeah, I can hear it now.
I hear something that sounds like a weird whistle.
You got to get rid of all these dead corona bodies somehow.
Yeah, that's right. They're
Sorry.
cleaning house around here.
Uh-huh. It's essential, right?
Oh, it sounds like
We didn't start the fire.
Who does all the yard work in Australia? Other
Why?
Australians?
It's so racist.
I'm serious. I'm very legitimately curious.
Bogans mainly.
No, we import
Bogans?
Mexicans. Is that your question? Do we import Mexicans? Was that
That's
your
not my
actual-
question at all.
Okay.
I'm just asking
Okay.
a question.
Jeez,
yeah.
Louise.
Oh man, we just they gave us beer.
You don't understand
Okay.
what it's like in my country. It's just that's a question that would be asked. That's an acceptable question. How would I
Mostly
know?
Australians, yes.
Okay. You don't have the
Um,
abos out there with the long leaf blowers?
Whoa, that
Whoa.
one's offensive.
It is?
That's like saying the N word.
It is?
They will
Yes.
be caught dead doing lawn work.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
What do I know? Not a
You
bloody true blue
ignorant,
Aussie, mate. I'm a
bloody
bloody
American.
Yeah, mate.
You bloody
Okay.
American.
Fair dinkum, fair dinkum.
Crikey.
Crocky.
Bloody, you're a bloody
Sorry.
drongo.
not even sure what the hell that means, but okay.
You're a
I'll
flaming
pick up a
glass.
slab of titties, mate. We'll be fine, mate. We'll be fine. Pull your head back in, Josh.
Pull your socks up, pull your bloody head in, and fucking.
We'll go around to the
Oh,
bottle, find a Sheila, show you a map of Tassie. I'll pay.
Mate, I'll cut your grass, alright?
Okay, that means something different in my country.
Wow, you brought the Australian out in Josh. Damn.
Yeah, he finally stopped acting like a British tart.
Like, good God, man.
Mate, you're going the right way for
Comes in here every other freaking Aussie that's ever been in here is like, who's the bloody palm, mate? Who's this bloody palm you brought in? I'm like, he's from fucking Sydney.
So I've got an upper class accent, okay? It's not my fault.
I know it's not your fault. It's your rich parents' fault.
They're hardly rich. I don't know why.
Yeah, right.
I can't actually say why.
Because they got abos
Not
doing yard
everyone
work.
sounds
That's
like
how I
it.
know they're rich.
Oh my god.
Gosh. These guys.
I mean, it's not going to be long until he actually starts screaming the N word, is it, Jimmy?
That you got me confused with the Aussie, mate. No, I don't do that. That's the Aussie, mate. You know what I'm talking about. No comment.
The other guy. The
No
other one.
comment. The other one. The other.
The other one.
The other.
one?
Mhm.
Mm,
The one down there near Kalgoorlie.
I think I know the one you mean.
Mm-hmm. He just came back. He went walkabout.
Did he?
He did. Yeah, for like 3 weeks, dude. But hide nor hair. Anyway, back to Pablo, who is also included Mana in Action, the Mana Flu, and Mana History X.
Oh gosh.
Did you say Man of Fire?
What happened to the? How about Alfred Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much? This is too stupid for me. It's too funny.
What about the Mana DeLorean?
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. Risey Lee says it's because you went to private school.
Yes. Yes.
You went to bloody private school.
I went to state school.
He did?
Yeah.
I know. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. Peasant.
Peasants. I went to a public primary school.
I heard public farmer school. Like farmer
Public primary school.
I heard farmer. I'm like farmer.
Primary.
Which is sort of like elementary school in America. It's the same diff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Elementary?
Elementary, my dear
Elementary?
Aussie.
Elementary.
Elementary.
It's kindergarten to year 6, whatever that is equivalent in America.
Right.
Used to be 7.
K through 6.
They bumped 7 up to high school now.
K through 6.
Just recently, they bumped up the year 7 to high school.
Well,
really,
when I was in school, it was K through 6. It was elementary. Junior high was 7 through 8, and then they shifted that 7 through 9, and then it was and then 10 through 12. But I had 4 years of high school.
But it was a whole different school, right? Like the junior, whatever it was, like that's a different location.
Yeah.
So you go to 3 different schools.
Yep.
Essentially, that is crazy. What kind of system is that?
An awesome
The greatest
system.
in the world.
You're right.
I have to say that our school system lacks much to be desired, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it'd be great if our federal government didn't operate our school system. That would be a great start.
Yeah, Crypto run for president. Maybe he can fix that.
Yeah, you should run for president.
Crypto has enough to do already. Just
president of Earth.
Being on a city council.
I like Parks and Rec over there. Where you work?
I don't work at the Parks and Rec. What? Oh, I'm more like the Ron Johnson. Is that his name?
Ron
Is that
Swanson.
Right? Ron Swanson. Been a long time since I watched that show. How long ago was that show on? 10 years ago?
Nah.
That one ended like 10 years ago.
I wouldn't imagine.
So I watched a great Australian movie called 10 Canoes. Heard of it?
Never heard of it. Yes, I've heard of it. Haven't seen it.
It was good. It was good.
What's it
A
called?
hair long. 10 Canoes.
Have you ever
It
seen...
tells like the... Go
Sorry.
ahead, Josh.
Have you ever seen Sirens? That's a good Australian movie.
Sirens.
Has Elle McPherson in it naked, so
Yeah.
it's always
Yeah.
there.
Oh, I have seen that movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Neill.
Yeah, I just skipped through to that part because the rest of it looked like shite.
Yeah, it's a boring movie. It's a drama.
Yeah, but that was like Elle McPherson. Yeah, I remember that for sure.
Elle McPherson should have done more naked movies. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. What about Embrace of the Vampire with Alyssa Milano?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I basically, like early 2000s, went onto Mr. Skin and found all of them.
What about Jane March in The Lover or Color of Night?
Jane
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
much,
Jane
yeah.
March. I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about. All right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that was Wasn't that with? Was that with Mickey Rourke?
Bruce Willis.
It's Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
You
You're
got to
thinking
see
of
Dong- you got to
Wild,
see
Wild
Dong.
Orchids, I think. Let me.
She was also in the
Quigley Down
Lover.
Under.
Quigley Down Under
Yes.
was good. Yeah.
Oh, Quigley Down Under is like one of my favorite westerns, even though it's
Wild
not in the
Orchid by
West.
Zalman King
Yeah.
with Mickey Rourke and Jacqueline Bisset and Carrie Otis, who I think was the chick he married.
I don't know. You tell us.
I don't know.
That was back when Mickey Rourke was like one of the most attractive men there was.
Man, that's that
Is
changed.
that the popcorn hand job in the movie theater scene?
What?
There's a movie with Mickey Rourke, and he puts his dick.
That's
in
9.5 weeks, I think.
popcorn tub.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember that part of 9.5 weeks. I was more focused on Kim Basinger than Mickey Rourke. But it's very telling,
That's your
Josh. Very
mistake. That's
telling.
your mistake.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. What about Two Moon Junction? Since we're talking about softcore movies.
I have no idea.
Hang on,
about
I've
that
got to
one.
go put my laundry out. I'll be 1 second.
Starring Sherilyn Fenn of Twin Peaks.
Ooh.
And Richard Tyson, the bad guy in Kindergarten Cop.
That actually sounds familiar, like one of those old 90s straight-to-video movies.
I'll screen share. Here, let me help, right? Let me just get this going here. If we're going to talk about all of this, this is important too. This is an important part of the process of buying time on this show, what people draw. I will allow. There we go. Remember this? Yeah, you're walking through the Blockbuster. Perhaps it was a Hollywood video. I don't know. Two Moon Junction. Right there. And you were like 13, and you were like, I need to figure out a way to rent this movie. Yep. Maybe we should just look that up. Let's just look up best 90s erotic movies.
Wow.
Yeah, here we go. This is what we need. Body Heat. How about that? Body Heat.
Yeah, I remember that name. Yeah.
Basic Instinct.
Wait, that's an erotic movie?
I saw that at the
Yeah,
cinema.
that's an erotic thriller. Did you have the popcorn out? Damage. I don't know this movie. With Jeremy Irons, Juliette Binoche, Miranda Richardson, and Rupert Graves. A drama romance. That's why I don't know it. The Rapture, starring Mimi Rogers and David Duchovny. David Duchovny did a lot of this like Cinemax stuff.
Yeah, he did like the Red Shoe Diaries or whatever it is. Huh?
Yeah, he did the Red Shoe Diaries, yeah. Color of Night with Bruce Willis, Jane March, Ruben Blades, and Leslie Ann Warren.
Oh, that's the one where they had a lesbian kiss or have sex or something like that.
China Moon, starring Ed Harris, Madeline Stowe, Charles Dance, and Patricia Healy. I like Charles Dance. He's the bad guy in Last Action Hero.
Golden Child. Sadanumsi.
Yeah.
Saddam
Jagged.
From the Golden Child.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember him more from that than anything else.
I just love some of the things that like
He plays the best bad guy.
and he was a great bad guy, but like what Eddie Murphy said to him, like my friend Nimsy.
My brother Numsi. And just the look on his face, just
How about
The annoyed look on his
1985's Jagged Edge, starring Jeff Bridges, Glenn Close, Peter Coyote, and Robert fucking Loggia.
Nepal.
that one?
Even a Paul.
Jade.
Jade was terrible.
I've heard Jade was so terrible. I haven't even watched it. It's by
with,
William Friedkin.
And who's the
Director
guy
of The
that was in it?
Exorcist.
Who's that?
The redheaded fella from CSI.
David Caruso.
David Caruso.
And Linda
yeah.
Fiorentino, who did a lot of these too. She did a lot of these erotic thrillers.
Yeah, whatever happened to Linda Fiorentino?
Probably not much. Chaz Palminteri and Richard Crenna. I don't know that name.
Richard Crenna. I know
Rambo.
he's Rambo's the Colonel in Rambo.
Yeah.
Let's just see what Linda Fiorentino has been up to now.
I haven't seen her in
Probably
years.
nothing, because she's an older woman and they
anything.
just don't make movies for women over the age of 35.
I know, it's kind of
Yeah.
sad.
Her career pretty much ended in 2000, and she made 2 movies since 2000. Huh.
Probably doing Hallmark movies.
Maybe she started directing? No, nothing. This is it. Just an actress, and she's done. And done. Sliver, starring Sharon Stone, William Baldwin, Tom Berenger, and Polly Walker.
There's another guy.
I wouldn't mind watching
what
this
happened to
again.
Tom Berenger.
I don't know. He's probably making another one of those movies that he makes.
One of those movies that he
American Sniper or some shit. He's got like this whole series. Where is it? Dude, this guy is just, look at this guy. He works, bro. He just works endlessly.
That's a lot of credits.
Getting paid.
Whatever works.
Major League 2. He made these freaking movies, I swear. I'm trying to... Sniper. Was that it? Sniper? He made a bunch of movies in the Sniper series. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Ooh. No, Sniper 2. See? There we go. Sniper 3. There we go. I was right. That's what I meant when I said these shitty Tom Berenger movies. Betrayed. An FBI agent posing as a combine driver becomes romantically involved with a Midwest farmer who lives a double life as a white supremacist in Betrayed from 1988, starring Deborah Winger, Tom Berenger, John Hurd, and Betsy Blair.
Winger?
Deborah Winger.
I think she won an Academy Award for something.
Sorry, I had a gutter brain moment. It almost sounded like something that rhymed with hot dog.
What?
Get your brain out of the gutter.
What?
Deborah Wiener.
Yes, I will.
Deborah Wiener.
Deborah Wiener.
That doesn't actually rhyme with hot dog.
Wiener, Wiener, Wiener.
It's a synonym.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Her brain went into
I
the
once
toilet.
got a synonym from this chick, and I had to get a shot in the dick. The Hot Spot, 1990. Upon arriving to a small town, a drifter quickly gets into trouble with the local authorities and the local women after he robs a bank. Starring Don Johnson and his long schlong, Virginia Madsen, Jennifer Super Sexy Connolly, and Charles Martin Smith. Nobody cares about him because Jennifer Connelly is in this movie, and I want to see it.
Jennifer Connelly.
Bring out
6.4.
Jennifer Connelly.
She's
Actually, this
aged
might be
quite
the
well.
highest rated.
She's aged quite well, Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
This is one of the highest rated movies there is on here. The Hot Spot. Huh. Body of Evidence, filmed in Portland, effing Oregon. Yep, Madonna, starring Madonna and Willem Dafoe. Like, who would want to watch them have sex? Tell me, anyone? Is it? Let's take a poll. Official poll right here. Is there anyone here who wants to watch Willem Dafoe do anything with a woman or a man?
No.
No one. Poor Willem Dafoe. Born with that face. That was a terrible movie, though. Madonna's Body of Evidence was terrible.
Everything Madonna's ever been in.
He has the face of a villain.
Except for that one with Antonio Banderas.
Dick Tracy.
Bad Company.
Dick Tracy
From
was
1995.
I have to give you that. Dick
Yeah, that's
Tracy
true.
was
Yeah.
all right.
Suddenly Seeking Susan.
The one memorable line from that movie, Dick Tracy. So I'm on your side, I'm always on mine. That's all I can remember from it.
The only thing that ruined Dick Tracy was like the Warren Beatty Madonna relationship that it was built around. But that's my opinion. I thought it was kind of stupid that she ended up being the villain.
I have never
I
seen that
remember
movie.
that.
Oh, well,
I've never
guess what?
seen that
She's
movie.
no face. She's no face. Okay. Spoiler alert. 30 years later.
Have you ever seen The Shadow?
Yeah.
Alec
I
Baldwin?
I have.
It's one of the worst. It is. That's probably the worst superhero movie ever made. I think.
Really?
I would rather watch the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
No.
Yeah, for real, man.
What
Alec
about
Baldwin is so terrible in that.
What about Howard the Duck?
I'd rather watch Howard the Duck. Now let me think.
I
Iron
don't
Man
know,
2?
like,
I don't know.
The love story between him and what's her face was
Beverly?
really like the girl from Back
Leah
to the
Thompson.
Future.
Oh, Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson. It's just like
He overacts through the whole movie. And
Who?
it's like he thinks he's like the most creative actor in the world while he's doing it too. And it just
Who you
drives me
talking about?
insane.
who
Alec
knows?
Baldwin in The Shadow.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh.
Shadow knows.
Only the shadow knows.
I've never seen Darkman, and I want to watch that one.
Darkman's good.
Darkman's good, man. What the hell?
Yeah. It's
Nice.
This
good.
is a crime against humanity that you haven't seen this movie.
It's difficult to find, I found.
Yeah, there is that. In Australia, it's hard to find anything. Lots of movies just get discontinued. A lot
And
of
it's not
stuff.
only the streaming services.
Remember when like Denise Richardson was the hottest chick there was?
Do you remember Wild Things?
Have you seen
That's
what
what
she
I'm
looks
looking
like
at
now?
right now.
Wild Things.
She's in Bold and the
Woo!
Beautiful.
She still looks good.
She was in
Not Bold and the
Undercover
Beautiful.
Brother
Not-
as White She-Devil.
But
the
not
ultimate
great.
trout pout. She has the ultimate trout pout now.
I can't believe her career did not go further.
Wasn't she?
Same with this Nev
Christmas-
Campbell broad. They both just disappeared, basically.
What was the name of her character when she was a Bond girl?
Christmas.
Christmas
something or other.
Jones?
Yeah,
Dr.
something like
Christmas Jones or something?
Christmas came twice this year. No,
I
you
never
say it,
knew.
Josh. You're British. You say it. You're British.
Oh, I never knew Christmas came twice a year.
That was your Bond?
Yes. You have to grit. Pierce Brosnan is like, man. He does a lot of grunt acting.
No wonder Lazenby was the last Aussie to play him. Jeez.
Well, he doesn't sound like this. Yeah, it's not a British.
This
talk.
never happened to the other guy. I love that
This
movie.
never happened
That's
to
my
the other
favorite
fellow.
one. I love that movie. It's the best Bond movie, I think, other than Live and Let Die.
What, Her
And maybe
Majesty's
Dr. No.
Secret Service?
On Her Majesty. It's like, well, because it's like the ultimate Bond story. Like, he gets married.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yes,
And him and
have
Blofeld
all-
like really have it out on that, you know, and he's got all those sexy chicks that Blofeld has hanging out in that mountain resort in Switzerland.
You think of a chicken.
Tully Savalas.
Now
I
think
mean,
of
come
the
on.
chicken flesh.
Wasn't that the
Bullshit,
ultimate
baby.
weapon? Sexy chicks.
You want to
was
avoid-
the ultimate weapon.
Huh?
Huh?
Like the ultimate weapon in like that movie on Emergency Secret Service was about he was like recruiting hot chicks to go and infiltrate some.
No, what it was is he brainwashed a bunch of women to then infect with a virus to then
Oh, yeah.
go around the world and like spread this virus.
Same diff.
Yeah. But the whole like brainwashing thing was super, I don't know, clumsy. Like why did you have to do that?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Hmm.
I haven't seen that film in a long time.
I have not seen it in its entirety.
Has anyone
It's
ever
worth a
seen
look.
Looker from 1981, directed by Michael Crichton and starring Albert Finney, James Coburn, Susan Day, and Lee Taylor Young?
No.
When did this movie come out?
1981. I've never even heard of it. This is the pitch. It's a good pitch. 3 of 4 models who had plastic surgery done by Larry after a computed list are dead. Neither the cops nor Larry believe they're suicides. Larry investigates and stays with the 4th model. Who's behind the lists and murders?
I don't know.
So
Interesting.
in 1991, I think I was 14.
In 1981?
I'm 38 now.
And you think you were 14 in 1981?
Unless I'm not paying attention to it. But
I don't think
Fair
math
enough.
is your thing.
You were 14. You were
No.
14. Don't let Jimmy lie to you. You were 14. Don't let him gaslight you.
No,
I don't think math is your forte there.
I wasn't even born in
not
81.
where I'm going, but I guess
Just saying.
in either case, I was still a kid when in 1991.
81.
Right.
Oh, 81?
Yeah, it came out in 81.
You're barely alive.
You were so little you couldn't even breathe without help.
Not even a
If you're
twinkle in your
38,
father's
if you're
eye.
38, 1991, you were.
I heard 1991. If you said 81, I was just born in 81.
How about this 1988 movie by David Cronenberg, referred to as Dead Ringers? Has anyone
I've
seen
that.
Dead Ringers?
I've seen
I've
that.
heard of it.
Twin gynecologists take full advantage of the fact that nobody can tell them apart until the relationships begin deteriorating.
Gynecologist?
Yes, twin
What the
gynecologists. Yeah.
What the hell?
How about that? Starring Jeremy Irons as weird twins.
That is very interesting.
Well, this didn't have nearly the amount of erotic movies I was hoping for. There's no Night Eyes at all. There's no Animal Instincts.
Erotic.
Let's just see. Let's see. We want Night Eyes.
What website are you looking at?
This is the Internet Movie Database, imdb.com. Have you heard of it?
I am Doug Benson. Yes. Yes, I've heard of it.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
That's a reference for 3 people.
They don't
Doug
actually have like
Benson.
erotic thriller. They don't.
Look at
Just
Mr.
thriller.
Skin.
No.
Naked Lunch.
Night Eyes 3. This one's pretty good. This is the one I like, by Andrew Stevens, starring Andrew Stevens, written by Andrew Stevens, directed by Andrew Stevens, starring Andrew Stevens and Shannon Tweed as the whore.
We need a Jan Michael Vincent.
Shannon Tweed married, what's his name?
Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons, yeah.
We need 3 more Jan Michael Vincents.
Jan Michael Vincent is Jan Michael Vincent in
Jan Michael Vincent.
There's not enough Jan Michael Vincents. Prepare to have your Jans Michael Vincent.
There was a time when Jan Michael Vincent was like, super A-list.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this movie right here stars Jan Michael Vincent that I'm looking at, Animal Instincts. Let's just take a look at Jan Michael Vincent. Oh, look at this stud.
Can we?
He's dead.
Yes,
I didn't know he died. Wow.
that's what happens.
It is, man. Pretty quick too. You're here and then you're gone.
1 minute you're here, the next minute you're sucking down.
Jan Michael Vincent.
Yeah.
Well, he had a hell of a career.
Yeah. Made a lot of
God
movies.
dang, kid. 84 credits. Really more than that because they only count TV as one. Yeah. 100 films and television shows. How about that? What a stud. So how's that art coming there, Jimmy?
Let's find out. All right, let's go on the line. We got armor on. That's pretty good. Very, yeah.
Wow.
That's what I can say about that. He's bringing the heat. We got,
Only because I suck at drawing skirts. I just left it out.
She's
Fine,
wearing
I like
shoes,
women with
but
tiny
still I
vaginas.
can see toe.
That's right. Definitely there. Marty's gone with an interesting pose. Not sure if it's flexible, but we shall see what comes of it.
Who is it, Marty? Is there
That
what is the subject? I was late.
this is, well, of course, we're doing Final Fantasy chicks, so I went with the Selkie because it had one of the. It has one of the skimpiest outfits I remember.
I like it.
We can,
Selfie.
What was the name of the
Ah.
character?
Silky?
This was, yes, they're pretty much the rogues of the Final Fantasy Chronicles, and they
Oh,
can
okay,
literally hide behind stuff and blow things up.
That's why.
Spencer, how come you don't screen share?
Because I'm not drawing right now.
Oh, okay.
he's just standing
Well, I
around.
sort of am, but sort of not.
That's why I was like, going, huh? 'Cause, I haven't played Final Fantasy Chronicles, so I don't know all the characters in that lore, particularly. So you can see me going, huh?
I had it on the Nintendo GameCube when I got hooked from one of the older Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
Let's move along the line. We got Illustrator Monk. Ooh, look at that. Very nice. Good stuff. What's up with the arm?
Looking good.
Huh?
Does she have like fingers underneath there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't drawn them yet.
Going up. Whoa.
She's
Hello.
that's
Joshua
her
Metz is
oven
adding-
mitt.
Joshua Metz
Yeah,
is
she will. It was part of
got some nipples.
Nipple.
Nickelodeon. Okay.
Smuggling raisins into the country.
Too hot for.
And then we go
YouTube.
over to Dan Vega, and he's got a ball. Oh, there we go.
He cannot lie.
Well, that's very nice. You guys are doing a good job. Except for Joshua Spencer. He's not doing
Hey.
He's not doing anything.
Okay, alright, fine. Wanna look at my boring screen? Be my guest. There you go.
So early today.
What was that?
Jeez,
What were you doing? What is that? Okay.
what's what?
Oh, that's that Shaden girl. Yeah, she likes the
Yeah,
She likes the corn cob.
she does. She does. She does indeed.
She puts a lot of extra time in on doing that.
Yeah. I'm just fixing up some mistakes that I did.
Does she like cream of corn? I think she does.
Cream of corn.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cream of corn.
That's the drawing. It's cream of corn.
She definitely has some lips.
Shut up, Jimmy.
She does have
Sure
lips.
does.
She has lips that like you like lips.
She sure does, Jimmy. You are correct about that.
Reminds me of a commission I had to do once for a client. He just wanted to go all out with the lip size. Well, I didn't draw super massive lips. No, more bigger than that. So, okay.
Well, okay, you're paying for it.
Yeah, it was of a Raven of Teen Titans.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I've done a
A
Raven.
mature version of Raven, yeah,
Mhm.
like
Mm-hmm.
older Raven, and just the lips. He wanted her lips to just like completely overtake the entire lower half of her face. And it's
Damn.
like, yeah, just he has a thing for like the real bee stung lips.
Okay,
I know what they
whatever.
say.
He knows what he likes.
Whatever the client wants.
Yep, he liked
Fair
it. He liked the end product, so yeah, he was happy.
Good. Very good.
Very
Why
good,
are we
sir.
showing? What is that?
It's my desktop.
Oh. This was what was it, palm fronds?
It's like, yeah, what? Yeah, why bother having real plants in your house? Just plop it on your desktop.
Well, I've got my desktop set to change background every 10 minutes. So I just cycle through photos. Yep.
Yep, or do. That's fantastic.
See, this is why I didn't want to. I'm just emailing stuff at the moment, Jim. That's why I was like, not really wanting to share screen because it's like not that interesting. But who knows? Someone might like it.
I see.
Do you see?
Do you see?
Do you see what I see?
Do you
This is my
see?
holiday.
Do you
Picture
see
of me
what
on
I
holiday.
see?
That serial killer on South Park, and he was like torturing Cartman with all these holiday snaps.
Oh, that's awfully specific.
Do you see?
Do you see? Do you see?
Oh, I think they were making fun of like Red Dragon, but you know.
Oh, is that what that's from? Okay.
Yeah, it's from Red Dragon.
You will bleed. Do you bleed? You will bleed.
That was a horror movie too, eh? Quite a horror movie.
I don't know why you're calling Justice League a horror movie, but okay.
It was a horrible movie. That's why.
What time we got? All right, we got about 45 minutes.
Coolio.
Oh, sorry guys, I've been shitty today.
It's all right.
Got a
Right,
bit of a
forgive you.
headache. I should probably just taken some pills before I started, but
Pills are good. Pills are good.
well, you know, I like ibuprofen or acetaminophen. I don't know what you call that over in where you guys are at, but
Ibuprofen.
okay.
Ibuprofen?
When I was in
Just
France, they called it
Nurofen.
something else.
Nurofen.
Uppers, downers,
Ludes.
ludes.
Shit.
Yeah, Ludes.
Ludes.
I don't.
Ludes.
They don't even make Quaaludes anymore in the United States.
I don't think they make it anywhere.
I've heard they have it in South Africa.
Really?
Really?
In South Africa? Okay. I wonder if it's the original recipe.
I don't
The
know.
kernels.
This guy that I grew up with, he was a little older than me, said that was the if you wanted to get a girl frisky, give him a Quaalude.
Was it was your friend called Bill Cosby?
No. Bill Cosby. He used roofies. Quaaludes are different.
Oh man, that was
he
awesome.
used Quaaludes, dude.
He used Quaaludes?
Throughout the 70s, dude, he was huge. He was a big time partier, dude. He's
Then-
the sexiest
then-
black man in America.
And then apparently he wasn't actually, making them was he giving him Quaaludes
Just giving him
innocuously?
lewds, dude. Everybody was doing lewds in the 70s.
I know, that's
Come
what I'm saying.
on,
Everybody's
man.
just doing lewds. I mean, lewds
Exactly.
I love the way he said that. Exactly.
and Coke. Lewds and Coke.
Was it the same thing as Spanish Fly? I don't know what
No.
that was.
Spanish Fly's bullshit.
Oh, shit. Gimmicks. Gimmicks.
All right, let's look through again. We got Armor on. Humble Marty. Illustrator Monk.
Sketchbook.
Got Josh Metz. And Danny Vega. Oh man. I might have to go get something for my head. I got a headache now.
Take a Panadol.
Oh, what?
Maybe it's COVID.
Panadol.
No, it's not COVID.
How do you know?
Nurofen.
Have you been tested?
It's probably because I haven't taken my insulin.
Oh, you should take your insulin.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Codeine.
Take codeine and insulin and 2 Coronas.
Yeah, that sounds like a good cocktail.
There you go. You'll feel better.
Is that like a good cocktail? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's I haven't taken my insulin. Now that I think about it, I've been remiss today.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I've been dealing with a headache all day.
It does make me feel better.
What's her name?
Bills.
It's a weird name for a chick.
I've been dealing with a headache all day too, man.
Pain in my ass.
But, you know, what I like to do? I like to sit down with a classic issue of Wizard. I'm looking at Wizard number 79 from March of 98 right now.
Wow.
Collect Wizard?
David, do I collect Wizard?
Yeah.
I guess I do, yeah. I have, you know, I had probably
I think
like
I had,
6 or 7 that I just have had since, you know, back then that I managed to hold on to.
I think there's
But then, like, I realized that my comic shop was selling them for 50 cents a pop. And they're just, I mean, they're filled with so much inspiration that it's like, yeah, absolutely. I'll take it.
I have the cover where it's all the X-Men ladies, babes, in their 90s outfits.
Mm-hmm.
In the 90s.
In their 90s or 90s?
In their 90s.
90s.
Their negligees.
Yeah, they're barely there costumes.
Their baby dolls.
And then I have one, Joe Madureira, or Joe Mad, drew Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. And then I think I had the one where they had battle chasers on it. Back when they formed a Cliffhanger, I think it was called.
Cliffhanger, yeah. That was Joe Mad's thing.
That was started was Roberto Ramos and Ambo.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you lost me.
Danger Girl, Crimson something,
I thought Danger Girl was J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah, that's Cliffhanger. I got it right here, man. Let's talk about it. Okay, Joe Madureira. Is that how it's pronounced? Madureira?
Madureira.
Fudge, man. I've been wondering that for 25 years.
Madureira.
So, Joe Madureira. Madureira. Joe. Let me read it like I am one of Daniel Vega's ancestors. Joe Madureira, Humberto Ramos, and J. Scott Campbell. 3 of today's youngest and hottest artists in the comic book business are launching a brand new line of creator-owned comic books simply titled Cliffhanger. Scheduled to appear this spring, which would have been 98. Madureira's. What is it? Madureira? What is it?
Madureira.
Yeah, Madureira.
Battle Chasers?
Madureira. Battle Chasers? Ramos' Crimson and Campbell's Danger Girl.
It sounds funky, even I can't say it right. And like,
Guns.
hey, you can't get my last name wrong unless you purposely do it. So
Funky cold.
So it was all part of the Cliffhanger imprint from Jim Lee's Wildstorm Productions before they went to
I didn't
were sold
know
to
that.
DC. You didn't know that?
I don't think so. Maybe. Yeah.
Battle Chasers. Joey Mad says, when I set out to create Battle Chasers, I decided that I wanted it to be different from every other comic out there. Not only did I not want to do a typical superhero book, but I didn't even want it to take place on Earth. I created a whole new world with strange creatures existing throughout, only some of which are even human. Fate brings the 4 central characters in Battle Chasers together, and they soon begin to uncover the mysteries of this world and the great powers that threaten it. It's one great adventure after the next, with some of the nastiest villains my mind could conceive. Featured here, for your viewing pleasure, are some... Okay, you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Humberto Ramos on Crimson. What would happen if you were turned into a vampire and discovered there's a whole new world hiding in the shadows? Would you give up your normal life? Would you turn yourself into a monster? This is where Crimson begins. Alex Elder leads the normal life of a 17-year-old boy, living with his family in uptown Manhattan, until the night he's turned into a vampire. From that moment, his life changes forever. He's dead. Now Alex can't go home, and will have to get used to a new life under the rule and protection of Echimus, his creator, a pure vampire. In his new existence, he will meet Joe the Indian, a crazy, secret-laden, half-Mexican, half-Navajo vampire, and Scarlet, a demon hunter belonging to a medieval sect, the Red Hood, who will become Alex's romantic interest and his fiercest enemy. Alex will also discover that he has the only one who can stop the evil plans of the vampire Lilith, who seeks to turn humanity towards vampirism. Alex, Echimus, and Joe will discover, in a dark universe full of werewolves, angels, dragons, and myths, that reality bites.
That's so
Sweet.
90s.
I love the count.
That's so 90s.
J. Scott Campbell on Danger Girl. What does J. Scott Campbell sound like, do you think?
Hi, I'm J.
Just a normal-
Scott Campbell.
Read it like Kwanzaa? Okay. Our story starts with the introduction of Abby Chase, a young woman
Not
with
that
no
high.
direction. Oh, sorry, okay. Our story starts with the introduction of, hey, I'm J. Scott Campbell. I made millions of dollars drawing sexy chicks that all look the same. Our story starts with the introduction of Abby Chase, a young woman with no direction. Hey, I collect a lot of J. Scott Campbell stuff. I can say whatever I want. A young
He's the
woman with no
best.
direction, no meaning in her life. She crisscrosses the globe, bouncing aimlessly from the smallest village to the most urbane of cities, earning her living in, shall we say, a less than respectable manner. For Abby may be best described as a modern-day pirate. Her time is spent liberating the ill-gotten treasures of others for her own personal gain until, through a mysterious set of circumstances, Abby's exploits earn the attention of an enigmatic man known only as Deuce. Deuce, a charming rogue, is apparently the point man for a super-secret espionage and anti-terrorist team that is not acknowledged and does not even exist. Officially, that is. Besides Deuce, Abby is introduced to her new cohorts, Natalia, Sydney, and Silicon Valerie, each possessing their own unique talents, each selected by Deuce to join forces and form the daring team of specialists known as Danger Girl. Shouldn't it be Danger Girls?
Yeah, but
Yeah, it should be.
It should be.
But maybe it doesn't sound as good. Danger Girl, Danger Girls. I don't know. Charlie's Angels, Charlie's Angel. Charlie's Angel? Charlie's Angels.
I like the original Charlie's Angels with Cameron Diaz, that movie by Mick G.
Yeah. McG.
That's the only good one. That's the only good one.
McG.
Though I have been tempted to give Full Throttle another drive.
It's good. It's not bad.
I saw it in the
It's
theater
good.
and I was super excited. And I was kind of disappointed because it felt like a music video more than it actually felt like a movie with a plot that was not
But
easily
wasn't he
discernible.
originally a music video
Got
director?
3 plots.
He was, correct. I said
sounds like an
plot.
elk being strangled.
Okay.
Wasn't the first Charlie's Angels film the last time anybody ever saw Crispin Glover?
He was in
No,
the
because he
sequel.
did the Hot
He did
Tub
the
Time
second
Machine.
one.
Oh yeah, he was in
Oh,
that
yeah.
too. Yeah, okay.
And he was in Willard.
Oh god.
That was before, isn't it?
I think it was before.
Around the same time, I think.
I guess that's how he developed that weird.
Why he never played the Joker, I'll never know.
Do you ever see Willem Dafoe dressed up as the Joker?
Yeah,
Does
that
the
looked
Joker?
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Chris McGlover would have been a good Joker, that's for sure.
Do you guys want to hear the Wizard March 1998 reader poll responses to what comic character would you want at your side in a no rules street brawl? What do you think fans chose back in '98?
A
Batman?
person.
Wolverine.
Excellent, excellent. Batman is 28%. Wolverine is 28%. They tie for first. Followed by Captain America with 13%. Then Spawn with 12%. Then Punisher with 7%. Then Bane with 4%. Sabretooth with 3%. And all others comprised 5%. How about that?
Wouldn't Spawn be the better choice? I realize he's pretty much an asshole himself, but he has more power than most of those characters. Not all of those characters.
Can someone kill that elk already?
Yeah, I think that's the leaf blower from Josh.
Sounds like a giant elk, just like in
It's
a
like,
Absolute.
like, I thought something was dying.
Yeah, it's like
Me. That's just
like-
me on the
it's like
inside.
a
That's what my
dying
soul
giraffe.
sounds like this week.
Oh, it's a dying giraffe.
Hey, did you guys know? Okay, here we go. We got some Todd McFarlane stuff from '98. You guys like hearing this? Is this okay? Or no?
That's okay.
No one?
It's fine.
That's one.
I don't think we have any watchers anyway. So.
Do we have any? Yeah, do we have any watchers?
We have 8 people watching,
Thank you guys for watching.
including
Yes.
Flit Amaranth.
Flit Hammer is the
But
greatest.
if everybody in here has like if everyone in here is watching the stream, then it's just like 3 people are watching.
I'm not.
Nonetheless, there's Flit Amaranth, Rebel Gaming, and Pablo Romero Art. All
Putting
superb.
up with it.
All superb. They all 3 of those would make a hell of a lover, ladies or gentlemen. I'm not really sure what's
You
up.
put
with
them together, you couldn't handle it. It'd just be terrible.
You couldn't.
It would break you.
It would make your vagine explode.
It'd be sad. Very sad. Damn it, I'm so screwed up today. I'm not being able to.
You're fine, dude. Hey, you're not in a great pace, and I can't count today.
I really should go get something for my head.
Did you take your insulin?
No, not yet.
But
Jimmy, are you gonna freaking like fall into a diabetic coma because you had the
No.
fucking YouTube stream?
No. I'll be all right. I'll just get a headache if I don't take it.
Famous last words.
Yeah, because I think Crypto's about ready to knock you one.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez, look at this. This is like I'm reading an article by Jim McLaughlin on a brand new comic that was just about to come out by a superstar Witchblade artist named Michael Turner. It was called Fathom. How about that? Wow.
Fathom. I remember.
Remember that one? No?
I remember Fathom.
Mm.
It was Ceci. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should go get a fucking.
Geez, maybe you should sit here and debate it on live stream.
Maybe I should.
Why don't you take a poll? Let's just Flint, can you make a poll? Should Jimmy take his insulin or fall into a diabetic coma? Or will it just cause a headache? Those are the 3 choices.
Matt, all right. I'm going to go take my insulin.
Oh, you are gonna do? Are you sure?
Yeah, okay.
Well, it turns out the
Yeah,
poll
like,
says
yeah, I
diabetic
was like,
coma.
I don't think you win that trade. Jim, go take your medicine or your insulin.
It's like you don't want to.
No, I do want to. I just. I'll be back.
Yeah.
So I read 10 issues of of Legends of the Dark Knight. Do you guys know that one by DC Comics back in the day? Started in '89. No, no one. Anybody here read comics?
Yeah, a
that?
little bit.
I
Well,
did.
Hello.
I got most of them.
Well, they made a comic book called Legends of the Dark Knight. It started in 1989, ran for I think a little under 200 issues, maybe.
I think I
And
got that in my collection. Yeah.
it was really awesome because none of it's like really involved in the Batman continuity. It doesn't matter what's being printed in Batman or in the Detective Comics or anything like that. It's just like good stories about Batman that are totally standalone, and they're all like kind of a little bit more mature. They're for more adult readers, and they get a new writer and a new artist for like each story, and it's really one of the best series I've ever read. And they were like willing to let the artists and writers just pretty much take whatever chances they want and do whatever they want, and so they got really some great stories out of it. And I couldn't believe it. I read all.
Jimmy,
I
how
read
long is it
10
going to
comics.
take?
All of them were good. All of them were good.
How long will it
And I
take you to
went-
go get it?
How long would it take me to go get it? Huh? Is that what you said,
I think he's on the delay.
I
Spencer?
think Jimmy is getting the medicine now.
Oh.
Yeah.
He didn't sound like he was doing too hot.
I don't want to take my medicine. I like to hurt my head. Nope.
No, definitely not. We're all quiet now. Okay. So let's just go through and ask everybody what their favorite comic books are. Who are we going to start with? Tech Corner. Boom. Go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Battle Chasers when it came out. Batman, Captain America, X-Men when it was good.
When was it good?
Up until 2000.
Josh Spencer. Go.
Gosh.
Josh Spencer.
Okay. Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, he died on. He died
Although
on.
Joshua's not here, the Joshuas are out of it. Illustrator Monk.
I'm gonna stay the X-Men
Okay.
again from like the 80s to the early 2000s.
Is that what got you into comics? Was X-Men?
Actually, it was Ninja Turtles.
Really? The original series, or was this after they were already popular and had action figures?
It was the original series, the
Okay.
Mirage Studios.
Cool. Humble Marty.
Batman, Hush, and Sonic. Sonic
Really?
and Power Rangers was actually what got me into it.
The comics or the shows, or like what aspect of it? The video game? What?
Okay,
Or was it just comics?
I get obsessed with the Power Rangers TV show, and I usually get a little bit of everything from that, and one of them ended up being a Power Rangers comic.
Okay.
Oh, I think I
And that
read.
was it. And you were off to the races with comic books.
Yeah.
First comic I think I got was probably the Phantom, and then Wolverine.
Yeah, Phantom were big sellers in Australia. You always find them at the newsagents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No matter where you go, there they were. With me, it was I started the British, the UK, Marvel UK Transformer comics. That's where I really started to collect comics.
Really?
Yeah, because they used to be big in Australia. They were in every.
Well,
news
actually,
section.
the first one for me then was like Tintin.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
too, and Asterix, all those books.
Asterix and
Our school
Obelix.
library had them all practically.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Well, it was also me. I think it was also the newspaper funnies, Spider-Man, Popeyes, and so on and so forth. When they were
Man,
also
they still have the Phantom comics in the Australian newspapers, even to this day. I think
the funnies.
they're still doing Phantom.
I have a question in the chat asking, does anyone have Wizard issue 33, which has the Jim Ballant Catwoman,
Probably.
or 48? So let me look it up because I'm curious to know
I
myself.
have most of that run too, or the Jim Ballant Catwoman.
He's talking about the Wizard issue with her on the cover.
No, the actual comic. I had that. I got that series, Jim Ballant series, and that. But I might even have that Wizard magazine because I got quite a collection at home here. So yeah, I've seen it for a while.
So he's a Catwoman collector, and what I want to tell Eric Hawkins right now is I don't have either. I'm actually got a bag. You can hear it. That's a bag full of Wizards that I'm just kind of like going through right now. I don't have that. I don't have either of these, but issue 48 unbagged is available for $2 on mycomicshop.com, which is where I buy a lot of comics. If I cannot find it in the back issues at my comic shop, this is where I go. I go to mycomicshop.com. Well, there's a couple comic shops in Portland I'll try. I will plug them if you're near Portland. Check out Cosmic Monkey. If you can't find it at Cosmic Monkey, then go to Excalibur. Excalibur is kind of like my last choice because things are actually kind of like most expensive there. Let's see here, 33. And you can get the 33 Wizard unpolybagged for $3.60.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. How about that?
Cool.
Yeah, I had a box at a comic shop in Brisbane City for a number of years, and then I stopped for a while. I stopped around, was it 2001, I think? I was getting too many. X-Men, Avengers, Superman. Yeah, I was getting heaps. I think I got the entire run Superboy comics too. Like, Tom Grummett was the artist for that. He's a bit of a favorite of mine. Did the Adventures of Superman comic for a while. I haven't bought that. I didn't get all the Death and Return of Superman comics. I got the trade paperback, which was like textbook thick.
I never got into much DC. I was like X-Men, Initial Wolverine, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was just getting everything. After like the Transformers comics kind of ended its run, and I just like switched over to like X-Men. X-Men was the first one I started getting into, other than Transformers.
Yeah, it
like
was
I started with the where Wolverine lost his adamantium. That's where I started. So they were coming back down to Earth, and he was like not doing too good because Magneto just pulled all his adamantium out. And yeah, that's where.
Is that when he went into the beast mode kind of thing?
whatever he regretted
Animalistic?
very hard. Like he was practically missing
We
a
have
nose.
8 minutes, by the way.
8 sexy minutes.
Because I remember for a while they were drawing Wolverine that he looks kind of like a monkey monster kind of thing.
Feral Wolverine, yeah. Playing all these empty pixels.
I'm sorry, guys. I've been not very good tonight.
Yeah, you could have postponed it, eh? That's all right.
Well, it is what it is.
I think everything's fine. What's wrong?
I just don't feel very good. That's all.
I just rambled on, and all these fuckers just totally like ignored me, other than Marty.
I
was
I
listening
get
to
you excited.
Until I started talking about them. And then they were just like, I'll tell you about all the comics I love. I was like, awesome. And then they rambled on and on and on. It was great. Missed it all, too.
I decided to have something to eat too.
What'd you get?
Cheese.
Steak?
Cheese.
Oh, good.
Just something easy.
100 slices of American cheese.
Ugh. Yuck.
Oh, the power of cheese.
Yeah,
Did you stay up all night eating cheese?
I'm not a big fan of American cheese.
Laura, you got any cheese? Remember that?
Okay, Steve Urkel.
Yeah, there we go.
I do that.
Yes. Wow, that's
I remember the storyline where he turned into Stefan, and he was like
he's supposed to he turned into a cool guy.
the cool guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Family Matters was
Version of
pretty
himself.
popular in Australia. Highest rating shows in Australia for a while. And then he was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Really?
Yeah, he was the original voice for Sonic the Hedgehog in the first cartoon series.
They also did it for the other one too, the more mature one.
Guys, I gotta go check on my
Yeah,
mom.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Who used
Well.
to welcome back Mr. Cutter?
Oh my God, Mr. Carter.
Hey, Mr. Cutter.
Who's this chick?
That was on
Evangeline
reruns
Lilly?
for a while.
From Lost.
Yeah, she's from Lost.
Dang, Wizard really had a hell of a run, you know? I'm impressed. 235 issues.
I wish I kept on to a lot of my Wizard magazines. I used to
Yeah, at
cut
least
them
the
up
ones
and,
from
like,
the 90s.
I used to cut them up and decorate my school books with them.
Mm-hmm.
What an idiot.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have a comic shop where just all back issues are 50 cents unless they're worth money. It's really fantastic. 'Cause it's, you know, the shop right across the river, it's not like that at all. They want, bottom line, at least $2.50. So I think my my local comic shop has probably been pushing a lot of weight. He did a deal where he started selling short boxes. I'll ship you a short box full of comics for $50 plus the cost of shipping. I'll fill it up. You just tell me what your favorite titles are. I'll ship it to you.
Knock knock.
That's really smart. Have Wolverine and Lobo ever fought?
Yes, they did. Amalgam, the DC Marvel crossover.
Oh, they did
And
finally
Wolverine
fight.
won. He just pretty much overpowered him, just through pure endurance.
Nice.
I got a huge hardboard poster of that done by Joe Mad.
Really? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, like Joe Mad did like the entire all the characters from all the different comics of the
I'm
Amalgam
surprised
universe.
they haven't given that another go. It's been, damn, almost 30 years. I think it's
but
25 years. I think
They
it's
said they're
25
planning to
years.
do that.
Yeah, but would it be good though?
Probably not.
I don't think I mean, you got to remember, like, I don't think their point is to be good. I think their point is to sell comic books and make money. They don't give a shit if it's good or not. I don't think the Dark Claw, the amalgamation between Batman and Wolverine, that was really popular, and they got a lot of traction out of that. And it seems like there's a new generation that doesn't even know what that is.
True, but then when they discover it, it's always funny. It's like they discovered how a phone works.
Wait, what?
It's always funny when kids discover new things. It's like they discovered a rotary phone for the first time.
Oh, I don't even think my nephew knows what a rotary phone is. Like, Theo, what's that? Oh, it's a rotary phone. What's a rotary phone? Oh, jeez.
Just shows how old you are, eh?
All right. Theo, what's that? Oh, it's a payphone. Payphone. What's that?
Oh,
We didn't have Siri.
around
We didn't have Siri. We didn't have Siri back in your day, son. Sir.
We still have them here, but they never work. Someone's probably vandalized it. So
Again?
Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Oh, Eric. Oh, check it out. Eric Hawkins says the reason he brings up Wizard 33 and 48 isn't because he's a Catwoman collector. It is because he has fan art in the fan art section of one of those wizards.
Cool.
Cool.
That's awesome, Eric. I think it's awesome.
Cool.
Sorry.
I have no idea. Yeah.
I'm back.
You'll come back.
Is it time, Jimmy? Are you going to call it?
Not yet. We got 10 minutes.
We had 8 minutes 10 minutes ago.
I misread it. Like I said, I'm a little out of it.
Did you take your 2 cubes of sugar?
I didn't take any sugar. All I need is insulin and something to eat. Should be all right.
I'm pretty sure 2 cubes of sugar would help.
Yeah, maybe.
Jeez, what a depression case.
I know. I suck tonight. I suck hugely. Huge. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
You guys are better than me. You're better than what I've been doing tonight. I am horrible.
No, for the most part, I'm done. Oh. Except for that one sleeve.
There you go.
Dropping shit tonight.
Have I been white boxed on? I have. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, everybody's used to this, though. The people that watch, they know. They know what's really going on with you. Ooh, Pablo Romero. He remembers one of the Cinemax or one of the erotic movies with Shannon Worry that she played a model that got kidnapped by some dude and had her naked the whole movie. He says he saw it when he was 15 and it was awesome. He recorded the good parts on VHS. That means the parts where she's naked. That's the good parts. The left boob and the right boob. Those were the good parts.
That is, yeah.
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 Ale, yeah. Oh, what was that sigh about now, Jim?
I'm starting to feel better. That was
good,
That
I'm
was the
good.
problem. I hadn't taken any
Oh, good.
insulin.
Okay, well, I'm glad we have a running dialogue about your health issues.
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
You want to talk about the artists and what they're drawing at all here tonight, or
Yes. Let's go to Armoron. Oh,
next
wow.
week we're gonna do the interstellar insulin, interstellar incestuous insulin.
No.
Incubus. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with Jimmy's thing.
No.
It's hard.
No.
Just trying to help, Jim.
Look at that. Look at that nice thing that Armoron's doing.
How
Definitely
come we never draw blumps?
And look at what we got. Look at the color. Look at the beautiful color of Humble Marty. Who would have thought she would do color? I'm surprised. Oh, look at this. Are you done, Illustrator Monk? Looks like you might be done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Look at that. Oh yeah. Dig it. And let's move over to Joshua Metz. Joshua Metz, we got looks like a dominatrix. I'm not sure what that character is. Anybody know?
I don't feel
Very
like
good.
fantasy. I don't know.
Oh,
anything
I think
about
that's Quistis from Final Fantasy VIII.
Indeed.
Well, he's not totally off character for her. That's okay.
Boobies.
I don't know that character, but I will trust you guys do.
Quistis was one of the teacher instructors in Final Fantasy VIII. She used the whip, and she used the I forgot what they called it in that, but essentially it's blue magic. The idea is that they were able to copy the attacks or special attacks of monsters, and then use them in battle against other monsters.
All right then. Well, moving down the line to you. Well, I held on for like ever. Because I'm a doofus. Yeah, there it is. We haven't had much from Joshua Metz. He's been doing his own thing on his own channel. But we're glad he's come here to share his art, and that's very nice. I wish I didn't feel like so bad, but I'm actually starting to feel
here we
better.
go. You've said that 5 times, Jim. We know you're starting to feel better.
Oh, be quiet, man.
Hold on, just in case there's anyone who might not. We might have some people that need sign language. Let me just type. Jimmy is feeling.
Oh, you.
There we go. I just want to make sure that I don't know. Kyle Ritter might pop in here or some shit. We want him to know.
Are you sure you made it? Because I swear you two bigger like brothers.
We are. We're beautiful twin brothers from different mothers.
That's
You know
right.
that? Beautiful twin sons. That's right. Mm-hmm. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's Danny DeVito.
Matt likes to think that. That's all right. All right. We're getting
All right.
close. 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Here we go. 3 minutes.
I better save mine before my computer crashes.
Is it gonna crash?
Yeah, it's prone to crash at least once, and it hasn't done it all morning and all afternoon. So I am starting to get a little concerned. So I better say what I'm doing now.
Well, I like your piece here. It's pretty cool.
FIFA number.
Definitely throwing the. Is that Tifa?
Yeah.
She lost her
Just like
skirt.
that.
I wonder how people are gonna feel about that.
Yeah, I suck at drawing.
Looks good. Looks good.
So, how does Tifa do what she does? Why is she so
She
strong?
was trained one of the greatest masters of all time in the world of Final Fantasy VII. So she, yeah, some superhuman martial arts skills.
Because she seems to be like one of the badasses, right? Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not familiar with the gameplay nor of the power sets, etc. And all I know is that a lot of people like her. So I don't know if it's just because she has the skirt or did have the skirt. You never know why people like stuff.
Nah. I was gonna do because you said about doing like gun toting girls, and I thought, oh, then there's the Final Fantasy X-2, the sequel to Final Fantasy X.
Tell you, Final Fantasy is a bit confusing.
It is. It was like the one game the first game ever in the series that actually had a direct sequel.
I'm still wondering why they did that, but okay. I guess a lot of people.
Yeah, I still don't know either.
I guess a lot of people weren't satisfied with the fact that was the way some parts of the ending went.
Yeah, it was kind of open ended, like yeah, kind of.
And they wanted more of a full closure and so on and so forth.
But yeah, like 15
the
seconds.
classes were like jobs in the game, and you just could change to like a gunslinger or a mage.
Oh yeah.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're done. Fantastic. You guys have done great work tonight, even though I've been absolutely shitty.
Oh, here we go. But you're feeling better, right?
A little bit. Flit, can you do me a favor and post the poll in the chat, please?
Not the one about Jimmy feeling better and the insulin.
Oh, go
it's the one about the awesome artists.
I don't even know why I asked Matt here. He just mocks
I don't either,
me.
dude. I don't
mocks
even know.
me interminably.
God, imagine what I really felt like doing tonight, though, Jimmy, and what I didn't do. And
what did you feel like doing? Did I take you away for some really?
No, intense... I meant what I feel like doing, like live here tonight. Just blowing up everything in the world and just calling it quits and just doing whatever I want. Like I always do.
Matt.
Instead, I didn't. I just sat here, and it was awesome. I read from the Wizard. I read from the Final Fantasies and the Secret of Manas. I read from the chat. It was amazing. The only thing more amazing than me are these artists.
Yeah, this is true. You're so amazing, Matt, except for...
No, I segued to the fucking artists, dude. You gotta take the hint. Come on.
All right, so...
Segue. Like, you're right, Matt.
It is
they
in
are
the
amazing.
Chat tonight, so, yeah. I think you should go vote. Everybody should go vote. Who's here? And get it done. Get it done. That's all I'm saying. Get it done. Oh, I'm sorry about tonight. Really, I am.
Oh my God! If you apologize one more time, I'm gonna freaking lose.
Are you gonna come over here and kick my ass?
I might drive down there. Don't think I won't. I have before.
You have before. This is true. He's not lying, actually.
Nope. He doesn't lie.
And, yeah. Oh. All right. What do we got going here? Let's go look and see how it's going. Pull that off. And let's refresh.
Let's refresh.
We've only had 4 votes. 4 votes so far. We need more people to vote. Please.
Pretty please.
Pretty please with some sugar. What were you going to do, Matt? Were you going to go all out?
I was going to go all out, man. I was going to give myself a hot chocolate enema. On live stream.
A hot chocolate enema.
On live stream.
That is, that's something, I'll tell you what.
It's going all, that's what I call going all out. That's what you said. You can go all out. I said, sure. Why not? Let's do it.
I would think that you would do like a, high colonic.
Hot chocolate? High colonic. Low colonic, all the colonics.
You like coffee.
I put some Kahlua in it, whatever. You know, Kahlua and colonic, whatever.
Coffee colonic. All right, let's refresh one more time.
Coffee talk. I'm Linda Richmond, and this is Coffee Talk.
Coffee talk. Now we got 8
I'll
votes.
give you a
8
topic.
votes. Fantastic. How many people are in the chat still? Are there any people in the chat left? Anybody? Bueller?
Still 8 people.
All right. Have all the artists gone and voted? Wondering.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to give it another minute or so. And then we will tally up the votes. Oh, we got 9 votes. Let's do it again. All right. Fantastic.
Jim is feeling much better. If you guys didn't hear the update, he's feeling better.
Shut up.
You counting those votes, Jim?
All right. Let's do it one more time. Yeah, we're about right. All right. 10 votes.
All right.
All right. So let's call it.
Here we go.
With 0 votes, or no, wait, 1 vote. Just changed because we got 11 votes. And 1 vote apiece with just out of the top, just out of the podium, is Josh Metz and Daniel Vega, Tech Corner. And then in the bronze medal, we got Humble Marty with 2 votes, 18%. And Armoron comes in with a silver at 3 votes, 27%. And with the win for the gold, once again, Illustrator Monk with 4 votes, 36%. Illustrator Monk does not have to draw butts this coming week if he wants to show up after my poor performance. But he won. Fantastic. Armoron, you come in second. Humble Marty with your beautiful colors, number 3. I'm sorry about tonight. It's been terrible.
You've apologized to us now 7 times, but we're really not buying it yet. Grovel more. Grovel.
I should grovel more.
Grovel for Humble Marty's feet.
All right, let's go to the line.
No!
Armoron, do you want to shill anything before we get call this a night?
Excuse me. Just what I said before. Just working on commissions and just working on my Patreon content.
Cool, man. Excellent. And then we have Humble Marty. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's actually a comic I'd come across that was called Prince Adventures. If you're into Thundercats and anime powers and anything along that sort, it's right up anyone's alley.
Nice. All right. And Illustrated Monk does have Saving the World, right?
Yeah, Saving the World on Kickstarter. It's the last few days. I'd also like to shout out Jack Irons, Steel Cowboy.
Good
You
man.
should get that.
Yeah, I already backed it. It's worth it for sure.
Yep. Go check out both of those and back them if you find them to your liking. They're both great projects. Joshua, do you want to say anything? Come off your mute, maybe? No. He's got a lady here with some boobs and a whip, and it's very nice. Joshua Spencer is not here, apparently, and so we'll let him go by. And then Daniel Tech Vega, what would you like to say?
I'm still open for commissions. You can find me on Twitter at the Tech Corner and on YouTube at also the Tech Corner. And on DeviantArt, D Vega.
All right, man. Great. Like I said, next week I probably will have a little more energy and maybe a little bit more brain power going on, and less distraction. Appreciate you guys coming out. This was fun. So I learned a little bit about this franchise and these beautiful women you put together. Very nice. Thank you for coming, and thank you for those in the chat. Flit Amaranth, who's awesome and got the pull up. Matthew Merce. Anything you want to talk about?
Back Little Girl Lethal on Indiegogo. Back the Jack Irons for sure. You don't want to miss that. $25, you get all 3 issues. Cody writes a world that is so deep and rich that when you look at it, you're going to be like, a space western? Trust me, you read it, you're going to be like, this dude is building like the next George Lucas type universe. But it's nothing like George Lucas's universe. This is like something totally original, different, really, really amazing, and deserves to have more than 2 issues out there for sure. I would read probably 12 issues of Jack Irons before I made a decision whether it should be in my box or not. That's it. Also follow me on whatever, YouTube. Sure. YouTube's good. Follow me there.
Testosterone Overload and Crypto Comics is where you can find him on YouTube. Yes, please go check out my book. Check out Jack Irons and Saving the World. There's some other good ones. Golma by Bradley. I'm blanking on his name. World of Goma. Go look at that. Golma. And anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Slick Jimmy Love. You can find me here, right? I hit Slick Jimmy Speaks. And I'm always available to talk to if you want to get a hold of me. Appreciate you coming out for tonight. And if you are watching this subsequently, thank you for coming and watching this. We'll have another theme next week on Monday night, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Thank you very much. And people on the panel, thanks for putting up with my bullshit tonight. And thank you, Matt, for helping out. Appreciate it. Have
You're
a great
welcome.
night. And
I'm sorry.
I will see you.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
A little bit. Have a good night, guys.
Just a little bit. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better.
A little bit better. I gotta go find the right thing to turn off the stream, and we're ending the stream right now.